Hello everybody, here is our blast furnace we've created for melting down metals, and this thing is connected up to a vacuum cleaner for air, which isn't on right now. And so what temperature can you get this about up to?
This blast furnace can get hot enough to melt even steel actually, but we don't want it to get hot enough to melt steel, because if it melts the steel, then we're gonna have some problems, because that's what we got right here for the crucible for the blast furnace, and that crucible is gonna go right in here, and then we're gonna put our metals that we can melt inside of there, and we're hoping that right here, this is something we salvaged from a computer, and we've got some ferrous metals and some non-ferrous metals, and it should get hot enough to melt this. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it looks like zinc or something like that, so that should be able to melt down. And this right here, the cooling should melt down, and then it should even be hot enough to melt the copper, but I want to melt this off and then separate the copper from it, and then so we're just gonna melt all that down, and
then we got some aluminum cans we'll try to melt down too. That should melt down pretty quickly. So right here we put in the kindle and stuff first, and then we'll put in the coal, and then we've created a
charcoal. We got charcoal, just some regular charcoal briquettes,
and then we've created a mold for pouring the metal into. We've actually this was actually a 3D printed little star thing.
Using the lost PLA method.
Yeah, lost PLA method. This is a little ninja star thing. We put in some plaster and then had it dry down, and then we tried kind of melting it down and then pulling it out.
And this one we're using a different technique.
Actually, this isn't the one. It's the where did it go?
It's gone.
Anyways, the one that was in here melted down and kind of. Anyway, so yeah, this is our blast furnace. You can see with it turned on how
it'll just take a second for the fire to get real hot, but
it heats up real quick, and then there's just flames that just start shooting out of here after a while. But so we'll be putting in this later on, and we'll be able to melt down metals. Okay, so we've started adding some coal down here, and we're going to put the crucible inside and then pack the surroundings with coal.
We don't need too much coal, so we're just going to put a little bit around and then start heating it up and get some air going through it, and as soon as we start doing that, this stuff will catch real quick and it'll get really hot, and hopefully we'll be able to separate out this metal pretty easily. So when we got this lid, we need to put on top, but it's gonna have to burn down a little bit for it to fit right, but that should help a lot too.
Then I guess we can circulate the air some with the vacuum. So we've had this going for just a little bit, and if you look down there, the actual crucible is red hot, and the metal that we put in there is starting to melt.
It's trying to.
Alright, so this has been going a little bit longer, and if you can see inside, the metal that we put in there is also glowing red. And so what we're going to do is try to pull this thing out and then pour it into this bucket of sand over there. So there you can see, hopefully it's liquid enough to pour.
Oh yeah, that is definitely liquid enough to pour.
Alright, then we're just going to pour it in here. This will separate, what metal is this?
Not quite sure. It looks like zinc to me, really.
Alright, so this might be zinc, and it's separating from the
copper.
The copper that's in there.
There's a lot more in there. Let's put it back in for a little bit.
But here is the metal that just got poured out.
Actually, I can get the copper out now. Oh, that copper is almost melted completely.
So that copper started to melt.
And then there's the other metals in there. I need some other fire to get that out.
Yeah, some of the stronger metals just didn't really melt at all.
There's some iron or steel in here, right here.
Like that.
And one more.
So here's that final metal, and then we just found some other random metal around that we melted, and now we're starting to melt some cans. You can hardly see it, and then we can just add those in there. It'll start to melt. Alright, so we're going to try to pour this aluminum metal into this cast. That's heated up so that it doesn't have that big of a reaction whenever it hits. And we failed. Alright, we don't have enough metal. So this is the excess aluminum. It's not the best quality. It's got some impurities, but we're going to try some tin to melt some tin down, since that's a lower temperature, and that would be better for casting.
Gonna burn off some impurities.
Alright, so now we are adding in some tin. We've just got some scrap metal around here. Just getting it ready, and then we'll put it on the top afterwards. We've got the lid on again with the heat running, and it's already starting to melt down a little bit. Alright, so the tin is not melting. It's
Oh, you said tin was good.
it might not actually be tin. It may be some alloy or something that just doesn't melt. It won't melt at the temperatures that we have, at least right now. So we're gonna try copper, which actually melts at a higher temperature
But
than
it
tin.
actually doesn't make sense that the tin's not melting, so it has to be something other than tin, because we melted aluminum.
So if the copper melts, then this for sure is not tin. So we're gonna go and try to melt some of this copper over here. Got some copper wire and some of these scraps. Alright, so we got the copper in there, and it is really melting down. That copper is definitely melting well in here. Alright, we're about to pour this copper into this mold again. We're going to try that again. And this thing is red hot.
Your mold?
Almost, yeah.
Oh, I didn't miss it.
Okay, this thing is crazy.
Rolling?
Holy.
Oh, good. Oh, come on, go.
No, we ran out.
Through.
Oh, it cooled off.
It melted through.
Oh, it melted through. Ooh, it melted through. Alright, so since our last crucible burned out, we got this little stainless steel glass that we're going to try to use instead. It's a little bit smaller and less surface area, so it doesn't have to heat up as much, and it might be a little bit easier to pour. So hopefully that will stand up to the heat. And it's just lying on a little brick. We're going to fill it with coals, and we'll start doing this again. We're going to try to burn some more copper, melt some copper.
Give it a blast.
Alright, so we put this in the center. We've got coal around it, and we're about to just warm it up a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit, a few thousand degrees.
Yeah. Put the lid on. Careful. Alright. It's like fireworks. Gotta be careful. Alright, so we're trying to cut back on the airflow so we can get less sparks. Right now we're just blowing into it from the air, not even connected, but that's a lot right now. But just experimenting. So I just ended up bending this copper a little bit to restrict the airflow. Now it's running a lot better. Alright, so we're going to try to pour this out, and some of it's not melted. We don't know if it's really melted at all. Some of it. It is glowing in there. You can see some of the pieces still. I'm not sure if there's some stuff that will pour out, but we'll see. Nope. Man. Okay, we gotta do something different then. That brick is molten in there. But let's see, we're gonna try a lower a lower metal again. I guess the copper is just too high of a temperature for this thing, so we're gonna try this metal that we have, and we'll see how that melts. It's a broken. Stop. So now we've just combined some of the weaker metals, and this one is definitely melting down. You can see it's liquid at the bottom. There's some metals such as zinc and things like that, and hopefully we'll get a better pour with this one. Alright, there's some crazy chemical reaction in here.
Whoa! Yeah. Now that is not what we were trying to do.
But we're gonna try pour it anyways. Maybe.
What are we even doing here?
It's getting fuzzy again in there.
I think it's refining. I think that's what we're doing here.
I don't know.
Or it might be turning into an alloy because I added the aluminum.
Or it's making gas that's gonna kill us all.
Zinc. Yeah, don't breathe in the zinc. That's not good for you.
All right. Well, are we gonna try to pour this? Wow. It's so fuzzy in there.
What is going on?
It looks like cotton candy in this thing. Alright, we're gonna try this one more time. We're gonna try it. What? Oh my gosh! Alright, there's like literally fur coming off this thing. And this thing is... Hey, at least we finally got a almost semi...
Well, maybe if you sand the back of it.
A semi good pour. We didn't get that edge though.
I think we got a terrible pour.
That was the worst pour ever. No,
It's like fuzzy.
yeah, we're gonna see what that fuzz is after this dries. Just that fuzziness. I'm sure people know what that is, but
Yeah.
Smart.
we don't. So
That's smart.
Yeah.
the stuff on the top is just like chalky stuff. That fuzz just turns into this chalk type stuff. Maybe sulfur or something, I'm not sure. But it's pretty crazy. Alright, so this is our beautiful star. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's
You
a
can
throwing
see-
star for sure.
You can see the great impression in here. Alright. Yeah, that's our throwing star. Did not turn out the best.
We got it too hot. We need to try again, not so hot.
Yeah. And here's the zinc that was spilled out to the side in the sand. But we're just going to melt it back down. Alright, we're going to try this again. We'll see about this. Sometimes it's not furry. Careful. Okay. Getting on the star.
Yeah.
No. This is too hard. Okay. That was another failure. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and try this different Lost PLA cast. This one is actually more like a Lost PLA cast. The other one was like basically on the top. This one actually is a full mold with the top on it. We're just gonna try to pour as fast as we can. But it doesn't seem like it's gonna go in.
Oh, I forgot to add the air hole.
No, the air hole is right there.
Dang, it still did the same thing.
Yeah.
Why is it on fire down there?
Who knows? Alright, so we didn't know that this actually went in the hole, but right here we can see that part of the star is actually done. That we cracked this open, and we're gonna crack it open all the way. So we're just gonna take this apart and see what it looks like.
Well, it flowed.
Alright, so this
really
The metal,
this is
the metal
it.
flowed through this
Oh
plaster
yeah,
of Paris.
really
Yeah.
well.
It's you can see the little
Oh, look at the gates.
what's it called?
The gates.
Yeah, the gates.
I've done this before.
Yeah, wow. So this did turn out pretty good. We just gotta get it out all the way.
PLA, and it works perfectly. It looks like.
We're just gonna Dremel tool this thing off, and this center will come out. That's just more of the plaster, and we'll have a little Ninja Star thing. All right, so here we have it disconnected from the stand, and you can see the separate parts. We can go ahead and polish this one up. It looks a little bit rough, but the mold itself was a bit rough. So here it is after being polished up a little bit. Still not the best, but for the first time it's not that bad, and plus all we can try is polish it up a little bit more still. But it didn't turn out too bad for the first time. And then so that's about it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and please subscribe.